You're a very good observer, Cole.
We have a very advanced program, something very different.
An opportunity to reduce your sentence considerably.
And possibly play an important role in returning the human race to the surface of the Earth.
No license, no prints, no warrants.
Well, he took on 5 cops like he was dusted to the eyeballs.
What year is this?
What year do you think it is?
1996.
That's the future, James. Do you think you're living in the future?
I am simply trying to gather information to help the people in the present trace the path of the virus.
We're not in the present now.
This is a place for crazy people.
I'm not saying you're not mentally ill. For all I know, you're crazy as a loon.
The army of the 12 monkeys, they're the ones that spread the virus.
Monkeys.
He's been living in a meticulously constructed fantasy world, and that world is starting to disintegrate.
You haven't become addicted to that dying world?
No, sir.
He needs help.
I think I'm crazy when people start dying next month. I don't belong here.
You're here because of the system.
I know some things that you don't know.
Yes, my son.
He sent me to the wrong year.
You're certain of that?
Science ain't an exact science.
You had a bullet from World War I in your leg, James. How did it get there?
I don't know.
You're a trained psychiatrist. You know the difference between what's real and what's not.
You said that I had delusions. You said you could explain.
I'm trying to.
I want the future to be unknown.
I can help you. Get you out.
Let's see. You've got 12 Monkeys, the movie. Loved it. Brad Pitt was amazing. You got how many monkeys was it that escaped the trailer where a woman was, I think she was bit in real life. And now you have monkeypox right now. This is a fine example of brainwashing the masses through predictive programming. I will make a video regarding how the Ultra works. I will make sure to illustrate it in every video that I get a chance to. Eventually, you will be able to spot it for yourself and won't need my help.
A bizarre story involving the crash of a trailer full of monkeys headed to a lab and a woman now experiencing health problems after coming in close contact with the primates. The woman says she has been put on preventative medicine for the next 2 weeks, but there are some questions tonight into what these monkeys were being used for and what they could have been infected with.
Look down in more and it pops up some monkey.
Michelle Fallon never thought something like this would happen.
I thought, well, zoo monkeys. You know, I didn't know these were animal test monkeys.
After witnessing a crash on a Pennsylvania highway and stopping to help, she learned the truck was carrying 100 monkeys from East Africa, headed for a Missouri test lab.
I thought they were like okay, like they had their shots, were good, they've been checked. I didn't know they could have diseases or whatever.
After checking to make sure the driver was okay, she went up to the trailer full of crates, thinking there were cats inside.
They had this like green cloth over, so I peel it back and I go to stick my finger in there to try to pet it, and it pops its head up and I'm like, oh, it's a monkey.
3 of the monkeys escaped in the crash and 1 was recovered. 2 others were put down. But the hours-long escape forced health officials to issue an alert, warning the community not to come into close contact with the primates because the species commonly spreads herpes virus B.
I'm like, well, I was there and I touched everything.
That alert leaving Michelle on edge and unsure of what to do. Her close contact later leading to pink eye and flu-like symptoms.
I walked through their poop, I touched their crates, I tried to pet them. So now I don't know what's going on.
As a precaution, Michelle has now received her first rabies vaccination and has been prescribed antiviral medication as doctors continue to monitor her symptoms.
The location of the CDC quarantine facility where these monkeys were headed and the type of research that they were going to be used for has not been released, but this type of monkey is often used in medical studies.
Closed to stop the spread of an infectious disease. All of the capital's sexual health clinics have stopped walk-in appointments as the number of monkeypox cases rises.
Because this is a virus that passes from person to person through close contact, it's important that we keep people at least a metre away from each other, and also that if we think that somebody has a high probability for having the infection, that we don't bring them into contact with other members of the public until we've checked that out first.
Cases of monkeypox are usually rare outside of Central and West Africa and are caused by germs that spread between animals and people. The first symptoms include a fever, swollen glands and exhaustion, followed by a rash which often begins on the face before spreading to other parts of the body.
Monkeypox can spread from the rash or the blisters that appear on the skin, but it can also spread through contaminated clothing or bedding, and it can also spread through potentially saliva that has been infected with the virus, because there can be sores inside of the mouth.
Catherine Smallwood is responsible for emergency operations in Europe for the World Health Organization. The government is stocking up on smallpox vaccines, which offer some protection against this relatively similar disease, one that is already starting to have an impact on some of our services. Amy Lewis, ITV News.